This is a bill that addresses the ongoing need for rural public school facility funding. Years ago, as you will recall, there was multiple districts throughout the state who were having a hard time getting bonds passed to deal with facility funding, and as a result of that, there was a lawsuit against the state of Idaho in which it was alleged that there were students that were not being properly and safely educated in facilities that were safe. And as a result of that, there was legislation passed 20 years ago in 2006, and that legislation appropriated $25 million to be spent for these facilities that were unable to meet those needs through bonding and local funds, local efforts. Since that time, it has proven that it's been very difficult for districts to use that. Over that period of time, of 20 years, there's been $25 million sitting in that account that has really been relatively inaccessible and has been used only once, and that was in Plummer, Worley, where they addressed some safety concerns there that were emergency concerns. Currently, we have situations where there are districts, especially in rural areas, who don't have the capability of passing a bond sufficient to meet their construction needs. The capacity is not there. They either don't have the value in their overall tax value within the district to bond against. The capacity is just simply not there. And with this money sitting there over 20 years, dormant essentially, it became obvious that we needed to address that situation and make sure that those funds become available where they were originally intended to go. One of the first things that this bill does is, in the case of the first legislation that was passed, you had to have had a bond fail to qualify, and then you had to have a plan that was approved by a panel. We've added to that in this, where there may be cases where a district may pass a bond, but is not adequate to cover the needs. And that's one feature of this bill that makes it more accessible. One case in point might be the Salmon School there, where they attempted to pass 13 bonds and failed time and time again to try to meet those needs. Did finally pass a bond in the amount of $20 million against a $29 million need. And subsequent to that, they went out and made a private effort to solicit funds and volunteer help to the tune of about $6 million, coming to within $3 million of the need. And this bill, another feature of it, is it allows for up to $5 million to be approved by the panel without the appointment of a district supervisor. So in this case, that would satisfy the need of that school there in Salmon if they choose to follow through and submit a plan to the panel for approval. Now, the panel can approve, reject, or modify the plan. They could even modify the plan and move forward with it. And if they do accept that plan or a modified version of it, the plan can be implemented. So it prioritizes those areas that really are struggling to meet the needs of the students, gives them an opportunity and a way to go forward with existing, this is not new money, existing funds that are essentially, in this case, lying dormant, that $25 million. And then also on top of the $25 million, it brings in another $25 million from the Bond Levy Equalization Fund, which we're closing out. And so this bill is a great opportunity for us to satisfy our obligations towards our public rural schools especially. And I would stand for any questions and ask for your support. Thank you.